Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Red Hot Chili Pepper Songs and Memories, where I talk about songs by the Red Hot Chili Peppers and I talk about the memories they gave me. Now we're on day 17. I'm going to be talking about P by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now this was a random find. Uh, let me let me just say, back in high school in the computer lab, that's pretty much a running gag right now. So back in high school in the computer lab, I was finding more songs by the Red Hot Chili Peppers because I didn't have money to buy any of their albums or that much because I wanted to get other albums first, so I'm like okay. And so one day I just went on YouTube and I saw the song P, and I'm like okay, what is this? And it's just Flea just playing the bass while saying like random stuff at the beginning, and then he starts singing the song, and I'm like, what is this strange song? And I'm looking at this through a video. Like, this was like a concert video. I'm like, what is this song? And I'm like, okay, let's see. And then it was just like, the bass was like, there was no drums and no guitar. And like, Anthony's vocals were nowhere to be seen or heard. And I'm like, okay, this sounds like back then in high school, I thought this was really intense because there was just a bass in Flea's voice. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually really intense. With the exception of the beginning where he's like, uh, hold on a minute. Here's to reset. He's like, run away, bed, chewing gum, mouse, do not disturb, doorknob, bathroom toothbrush, hotel bus. That's how it was at the beginning. That was the first. That was the first song. That was the first time I ever heard that song. I like in that live performance. I didn't know. I didn't hear anything from the studio version. I didn't hear the studio version at all up to that point. I'm like, oh my god, this is really with the exception of that, this is really intense. And I'm like, and the crowd is cheering. I'm like, why are you cheering? This is a very dark song. And and then like at the end where it's like, so effing what? He just turns around from the microphone and everything goes dark, and then boom, there's a guitar, and Anthony Kiedis is like, and the whole band is playing, and Anthony Kiedis is like, so effing what? So effing what? And he says it a couple of more times until like the song ends, and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually really good, and so I just ended up like the song Fire, I ended up just like finding other live performances like the song, and I'm like, oh my god. And so like I have at least 3 live performances on my MP3 for this particular song because I genuinely just wanted to hear more of this. I wanted to hear like how they would perform it. And so finally, I finally at one point decided I'm gonna buckle down and I'm gonna listen to the studio version. And I'm like, all right, here it comes. Like it's just a bass and it's like I knew like the lyrics by heart because live performances over and over again I would listen to, and I'm like, okay, here comes the big note, and here comes the ending, and then it's like, so effing what, and then open E chord 3 times, like do do do, and then nothing. I'm like, wait, wait, where's the rest of the song? Like, wasn't there supposed to be a uh rock ending or something, like a rock, like I'm so used to how they play P um on like in live performances, like how they played it, like the minute Flea moves away from the microphone, and like there would be a big rock jam, and when I heard like the studio version, I'm like, oh my god, this feels strangely empty. Where's the rest of the song? And then I actually had to like play it back. I'm like, maybe I accidentally did something. Maybe I accidentally like moved it over to the end. And I'm like, I'm gonna listen to it, and I listened to it again, looking at the playlist, looking at the time. I'm like, no, this is the entire song. I'm like, oh, that's kind of one of the few problems I have with 1 minute. Like maybe it's because I was spoiled by the live performances, but I was like a little bit disappointed because I didn't get that ending like they usually have with P in the live performances. I'm like, uh, this is actually that would have been so nice to hear. I'm like, so effing what? And I remember the line, I'm a pacifist, but I'm gonna f your shit up. I'm like, oh, I'm using that term. I'm gonna use that. Never did. I only posted it on Facebook like once, but nobody actually liked it or nobody cared because then again, I did actually like. I was one of those people who were like, yeah, I'm trying to be like tough, but at the same time, nobody believed it. And I was also very random on Facebook. But the song P was actually one of my favorites because it's like, holy crap. Like, I mean, the studio version is fun, but the memories I had are the live performances. Just that out of nowhere, like kaboom of an ending for like those live performances. Still love it. Still feel a little bit empty with the studio version, but whenever I hear the studio version on the CD, which I have, um, it goes P, and then it goes to One Big Mob. So it's like, yeah, it's not a complete loss. So it's like it's probably much more of a breather episode. Like listening to the album and listening to the song in context, it's in between. Let me see. Yeah, it's in between two hard rock songs. So it's like uh, it goes from Coffee Shop, which is a very hard rock song, and then it's pretty much P is pretty much like a breather episode on the album. It's like, okay, we got that out of the way, just let us breathe. Let's just strip everything down and go with a simple bass tab and Flea singing. And then we're gonna go to One Big Mob, which is like hard rock, pretty much just as hard rocking as Coffee Shop. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's fine. So it's like, yeah, I guess that's fine. Um, P is a good like crap. You know, I'll prefer it one of two ways. Either I want the P live version, or I want to hear P in the studio, like on the CD, like all the way through. Because you know, on its own, it just sounds weird, a little bit weird on its own. But I like the song. It just sounds weird on its own. If it's not live or I'm not listening to it on an album. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the song. So that's it for another episode, and I'll see you later. Thank you.